Hello Stratters, Nick here, playing a little bit of Modern this week with a Jeskai Control deck. I'm going to go ahead and keep this hand. So we're a little bit light on early interaction. So I wonder what the opponent's up to. Island Fairy Miscreant makes me think perhaps Fairies deck, or it could be like a blue, like Ninja of the Deep Hours type deck, kind of in a similar form of the Pauper deck that people play. Okay, so Spell Stutter gets my Think Twice. And I think I'll just take this. This isn't that much. Our best chance in a matchup with this kind of counter magic, I think, is just to get a Supreme Verdict. Serum Visions. Okay, put that on bottom. And put that on bottom as well. I'll play that tapped. Pass. So the opponent is missing land drops, even though they got a little bit of advantage out of spell stuttering my Think Twice. They're still behind. So like I said, I think the thing we want most is a Supreme Verdict. So I just kind of want to dig for that Supreme Verdict. Still no land from the opponent. They aren't casting any cantrips, and they haven't used any counter spells on our cantrips and draw spells. A little bit odd. Well, we are keeping up in a card advantage race, at least. Maybe I'll think twice in response to this. Secure the wastes. We'll let that resolve. I think I would rather Essence Scatter a creature that's actually going to have a bit of an impact. You know, this is just a 1/1 flash flyer. Doesn't really do much. And I think if I don't find a Supreme Verdict, this one draws a card, so I kind of want to counter it. All right. So we are starting to get to the point where I might want to path these creatures. I'm just going to flash back these Think Twices. So the opponent's clock just wasn't very fast this game. Okay, Revelation. That's a good one. So at this point, I think I'm going to start using Cryptics to sort of tap and draw. And then go from there. So tap all creatures your opponents control, draw a card. And will be able to activate the Lighthouse, so tap that. And if the opponent fights over this, I'll probably negate back. Okay. No, that's fine. Oh, and did they... So the opponent made a small mistake there because the remand was targeting the Cryptic Command. They also targeted the Mana Leak on the Cryptic Command. When the remand went to resolve, its target was gone. I'm going to get rid of the Fairy Miscreant since that would prevent future Fairy Miscreants from drawing a card. So the opponent made a small misstep that would have given them an extra card draw, essentially. And I don't see any reason to do anything just yet. So I'm going to go for Snapcaster Path to Exile. What is this? Familiar's Ruse. Ooh, that's pretty good with the Spell Stutter Sprite. Yeah, so I'm going to negate this. And then if they want, they can use the Spell Stutter Sprite to counter the negate. In this case, the way that they countered, they used the Spell Stutter Sprite on the Snapcaster as well. And in this case, it didn't matter like it did in the previous one because this was a Familiar's Ruse instead of a Remand. So I think what I'm going to do next here is maybe fire off a Secure the Waste, and then if they tap low to deal with it, I can untap in Revelation. I could also just Revelation now. That seems actually pretty good. I mean, there's not much they can do about it. Rev for 4, draw 4 cards, gain 4 life. And, yeah, might as well just do that. Alright, so things seem to be going pretty well. Curious if this is just a mono blue fairies deck. It kind of looks like it is with the card selection. Sure, we'll take another island. I guess we could, another plains and represent Path, but I don't think we're casting Path this turn anyways. I'll throw that out there. And then what I might do is Pestermite. Sure, I'll let that happen. I'm going to path the Pestermite and then Scion of Una. That's a more dangerous card. Counter target spell, draw a card. And path this now where the opponent is tapped out. So it looks like a mono blue fairies deck. Which is interesting. You don't really have, I don't know, I would want to be playing removal. Sure, we'll take that. Fetch. Hallowed Fountain. And what is this, a click? A Mistbind click. Response, I'm going to Revelation. Do I want to play around Mana Leak? I think so. So I'm going to Sphinx's Rev for 3. This gives me a little bit of padding in terms of a life total if I have to take a hit from the Mistbind click. Ooh, a lot of lands. Alright, that happens. And they'll tap the last land that I have open. And gonna play this. I have 1 plains left in the deck. So I can fetch the plains and condemn. I guess I'll have to condemn the Scion, although I plan on casting Supreme Verdict. Yeah, take this. Okay, so Supreme Verdict. They'll get back a Spell Stutter Sprite. But we have a lot of cards in hand. Spot Removal, Essence Scatter. We have Think Twice in the graveyard. Quickling. So this would save that. I don't want that to happen. Essence Scatter that. This fairy comes back. So I'll just condemn it and then I don't think I want to fetch. That would just put me at way too low of a life total. So we'll condemn the Spell Stutter. Ooh, a Scion of Una. Well, that's a really tilting draw. It's gonna fizzle the Condemn and gives it enough power to be lethal. Alright, well, it looks like they got game 1 here. Okay, so I want Staticaster, I want Radiant Flames, I think I want these Vendilion Cliques so I can block a little bit. What don't I want? Probably Negates aren't very good, but Dispels seem like they would be fine. Nahiri doesn't seem great. Maybe shave a Think Twice. And I like Blessed Alliance because it doesn't target, so I don't have to worry about what kind of happened. Maybe the Condemns just because of kind of how that last game played out. We'll try this. Play first, and this looks like a reasonable hand to me. So I think I'll play tapped Steam Vents, fetch out a Hallowed Fountain with this land, cast my Serum Visions on turn 2, just to mitigate the amount of damage I take from my lands and to get one of my shuffle effects out of the way, because this will probably end up being my 5th land. So it'll probably be land 1, land 2, land 3, land 4, so then I won't upset my scries until, far later in the game. Great. Play tapped and Serum Visions. I don't think I need another land just yet, and another Supreme Verdict has to be what I want in this matchup. Okay, so the opponent's going off a little bit with their Fairy Miscreants. Play Glacial Fortress. And then depending on what I draw next turn, I might just fire off this Baby Revelation to force some action out of the opponent. Ooh, that's a nice one. Okay, so I'm gonna pass and hope that my opponent runs out the Lord that gives Shroud at end step. If they do, okay, go out there Staticaster, and I'll Staticaster the Fairy Miscreants. Nice. Okay, Staticaster was a great draw. That's gonna kill. I mean, a lot of my opponent's creatures are X1s. And it also, my opponent really can't Misbind Clique on my upkeep because I can just tap and kill the Spell Stutter Sprite. So I think maybe I'll wait and see if they do anything on my end step, and if not, I will Staticaster on their upkeep. Cool. Okay, so this Staticaster is doing some serious work for me. And go ahead and fetch. Just have access to a little bit more mana. I'll take another Steam Vents at this point. Just kind of playing around them, ghost quartering me off a red source, perhaps. Okay, so the opponent's locked out of playing certain X1 fairies for the time being. And I don't think that there's really anything that I need to do to provoke any action from the opponent, so I'm just happy passing back and forth, seeing what they do. And we only saw that they're a mono blue fairies deck, so I'm not sure what they do about an onboard creature like Staticaster. And now that we're full up on spells, sure, so they play that. I'll go ahead and Staticaster it. I assume the opponent's going to play, yeah, Scion, and Sure, so I'm going to let the Scion resolve, and then I'm going to path it in response. So then when my Staticaster activation goes to resolve, the sprite still doesn't have Shroud. Alright. So that was nice in that I got to use some of the cards out of my hand. Basically just traded 1-for-1 with the, what is that card's name? Scion of Una, and then use my Staticaster to just earn me a whole nother card from the Spell Stutter sprite. Snapcaster Mage. Actually like the idea of Snapcastering a Serum Visions right now. It gets me a clock in play and helps me find some of the cards I'm looking for. I mean, right now, Remand, sure, that's fine. And I'm not going to recast it. I don't want to go that low on mana. Also, I just want to keep hitting land drops, finding counter magic, and then at some point I'll probably secure the wastes and go from there. Alright, so since I plan on casting a Serum Visions, I'll get my shuffle out of the way here. Cast the Snapcaster. Target Serum Visions. Serum Visions. I mean, even if they, use a Spell Stutter sprite, I think probably the worst card they could have is another Remand. Another Snapcaster. I just don't have spells to Snapcast back right now, so I kind of don't want that, but I do want this Keranos. That's my way to end the game. Secure the Waste is really soft, different counter magic they could play, but I don't think there's anything that they play that would get a Keranos. I mean, besides like Cryptic Command. I wonder how many cards are just dead in my opponent's hand because of the Staticaster. But you think they play, even if it's mono blue, like you might play a couple Dismembers or Vapor Snags. Sure, so you can do that. And I'm just going to plan to ping it. I assume the opponent just has another Scion in hand. That's why they're running this one out there. If they do, I'm just going to Essence Scatter that. Yeah, so the opponent is playing Get Wrecked by Staticaster deck apparently. Attack with the Snapcaster Mage, and then once this Keranos is in play, I think the opponent's going to have a real hard time. Maybe they'll even scoop now that they see a win condition, I don't know. Very Conclave's a 2-1, right? Yeah. See what Keranos gives us. Deal 3 to them. Attack with my Snapcaster, and then on draw step, I'll go ahead and Vendilion Clique them. Maybe I could wait even till my end step. Can't imagine them drawing anything too insane. A lot of their things are flash anyways, so doing it in the draw step isn't really a Like, it's not like I'm gonna click them in their draw step and find some amazing sorcery that I wish I had gotten rid of during the draw step instead of waiting to the end step. Everything seems to be flash. And when I do click them and see their hand, assuming that all happens, I will get to see how many cards are stranded by this Staticaster. I mean, even like Familiar's Ruse, if they have, all they have are X1s, and they have a Familiar's Ruse in hand, like that's stranded. Quickling. This is just gonna die when it enters, or maybe they'll probably activate their Fairy Conclave. What is that? Oh, I see. So in response to their trigger, their Elder Deep Fiending. That's a good, interesting card. Yeah, that happens. So that's a pretty sweet card to have. They just had enough mana, so they put in the Quickling, and then it's a triggered ability that would make you sacrifice the Quickling, so they kind of used it to ritual out their Elder Deep Fiend. And, oh wow, my Keranos is online. Oh, that's so sweet. I've, like, almost never seen that happen. Yeah, so I'm just going to look at their hand. I assume... Okay, so they have Dispels and Mana Leaks. Guess I could take a Dispel? I mean, that's a card that could be annoying for me, so yeah, I'll take a Dispel. Oh man, I'm so excited to attack with this Keranos. I've never done it before. Oh my. uh, Attack step. Get in there, Keranos. Get in there. Oh man, this is like one of those things that's just on a check mark list to do in Modern. Attack with a Keranos. So it's because I have 2 devotion, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and it takes what? 6, 7. Yeah, 7 to turn on a Keranos. Oh wow, that was well, that just made this match completely worth it. Oh wow. So we know the opponent has a Mana Leak and a Dispel. So what I'll probably do is just try to Blessed Alliance them. They'll, yeah, just make them burn all their counter magic if they attack. Looks like they're not going to. I mean, well, I don't see any reason to really do anything. I wonder if they're gonna... Okay, Pestermite. Sure, Pestermite resolves. We can kill that with the Staticaster. That taps the Keranos. This is all an upkeep. Well, Keranos still might trigger. I guess they're playing around Keranos revealing a land. If Keranos reveals a spell, this is all just all over. Oh wow, this is like, I probably wouldn't have even noticed if I were playing in Paper Magic. I would have never been like, oh, my Keranos is on. This, it's a good thing that it kind of pops up over here into the battlefield. Okay, 3 to you. Oh wow, that was. Oh, you should. Since I only do audio, you can't see the massive smile on my face right now, but I just have this huge Cheshire grin. All right, so what does that make us maybe want to change? Oh no, I like the Essence Scatters, and I like Blessed Alliance because it gets around the Shroud. I like Path because we don't have to wait for them to be attacking like we do with Condemn. And Supreme Verdict, probably our best card. Stay in there. I mean, is Nahiri better than anything? I don't think so. I mean, we want to keep counter magic up, so we want Think Twice's to do in case they do nothing. Maybe Think Twice is better than Serum Visions? But we also want to find specific cards, like we really need to find Supreme Verdicts and so forth. I'm just going to submit it. Hopefully find Staticaster again. Yeah, this is like Secure the Waste is, I mean, this is kind of like a mulligan until like maybe turn 5 when we cast a Secure the Waste. But I'm going to go ahead and keep it. Okay, opponent mulligan to 5. Not working with very many cards. So even though we kind of virtually mulliganed, eventually we will get these Secure the Wastes back. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and fetch a Hallowed Fountain. Take 2. Cast Serum Visions. Let's see what we get. So draw off the Serum Visions was a Desolate Lighthouse and 2 more Think Twices. So this is just a lot of dirtle. I mean, 1 Think Twice is fine, I think. But we already have 1 in our hand. I guess I'll keep another one. So we'll probably just play Desolate Lighthouse, cast Think Twice. Opponent did nothing, still not really doing anything. Go ahead and cast one of our Think Twices. Opponent might play well, I guess they can't play a Spell Stutter because they would only have 1 fairy. Okay, that's a nice draw. Well, I guess maybe I'll fetch Shock and Flashback Think Twice. I mean, as long as we keep hitting land drops, we're going to be good this game. Maybe I don't even Shock, I don't know. I mean, they don't have any pressure going on, so I think it's fine. Fetch Shock and flash this back. It's a good draw. Cast a Serum Visions, and then I'm going to play tapped Hallowed Fountain. I'm going to let this resolve, and then I'm going to path it. They can... Okay. Opponent probably should have... So they can just activate their Fairy Conclave in response. So when the Spell Stutter trigger resolves, they'll only have 1. But this allowed them to do a bit more. Yeah, so I think I'll just play that, fetch Island, cast Think Twice, next turn, untap, play the Hallowed Fountain, taking a couple damage and from the shock, and then just cast Supreme Verdict. So we're going to take a bit of damage, but... And the opponent's spell starters this. That would be something we'd get a lot of value. They didn't. Okay. Yeah, I definitely want the blue-white source. Supreme Verdict. Can't be countered, so Not much the opponent can really do. What is this? Okay, so they're going to return a... That's not a bad play. I'm going to go ahead and cast the Serum Visions. A Path and a Clique. Down on top. Put the Clique on top of that. Alright. Tapped. And what is this? A Spell Stutter. That's fine. I'm going to cast this Clique while I have a relative opening. Mana leak. Okay. So I'm drawing a path. And I might actually loot away one of these Secure the Wastes at some point. I'm not sure. It's a fairly slow clock. I think I can take a little bit of time here. Flashback, think twice. Okay, that's a nice one. I think I'll still fire... I want to put myself in a position where I can escalate this to gain a little bit of life. Although if I just fetch Island, yeah, I'm gonna try that. Just fetch an Island, cast this escalated. Target opponent sacrifices an attacking creature. Target player gains 4 life. I would like the life. I would like you to sacrifice the creature. Do this. So this plays around Mana Leak at least. Another Spell Stutter. That'll happen. And I'm gonna path this Spell Stutter. They can still activate Fairy Conclave. Okay. So the opponent is being... I don't know if they're trying to protect the Fairy Conclave, or if they don't realize that they can, activate these other fairies they have in their deck. In order to satisfy the number of fairies counter trigger from the Spell Stutter sprite. Okay, so let me count. I have enough to Snapcaster Blessed Alliance with Dispel up, so I'm going to try that. I really want to gain a little bit of life here with this Blessed Alliance. That's kind of the whole goal. Maybe it's a bit greedy to keep trying to escalate this, but flashback, escalate, and run it back. Dispel, I dispel your dispel. They have a negate. Alright. Hopefully I just peel a Sphinx's Revelation and they're out of dispels. Probably be the best for me at this point. I guess Staticaster is a good draw. Wrath is a good draw. Okay, well their dudes all fly, so I'll just attack with the Snapcaster Mage. And then on their upkeep, I'm going to Cryptic to try to tap their team and draw a card. And there's a lot of counters that won't interact with this Remand. Yep. And looks like the opponent's got it, so yeah, they just had a lot of counter magic this game. I guess our Secure the Waste, we never were able to get any value off of them, so well, I mean, typically like these aggro control decks are a little bit of a tough matchup for control, but often that's because they can counter your sweeper, and we have Supreme Verdict, which is uncounterable. So I think that gives us maybe a bit of an edge. I don't know. It's also possible we should have maybe Snapcaster back Supreme Verdict instead of trying to Snapcaster back the other spells that we had. But I still think that match was a success because we were able to wake up and attack with a Keranos, so can't really complain about that at all. Alright, Stratters, stay tuned.